Good morning. Welcome to AM Sports. I am Muftawu Nabila Abdulai. The president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreko, has encouraged corporate institutions to invest in football. According to him, football is a sector that benefits the wider community and investors should not run away.
We'll encourage everybody and anybody who has the passion to invest in football not to run away. Because the football platform is a good platform for social change. The football ecosystem has the power to effect positive change. And if it is that you have the appetite to help a change process, you must be part of football. If you are here and you have invested one Ghana in a football club, you would understand what it means to invest in football. Investing in football, enye nkwada ejuma. Obi ne ka na asem enye betesa. You would invest and invest and invest and continue to pray that the Almighty God will one day listen to your voice. You know this kind of investment that. An investment, when you're careful, you will not even get a thank you. An investment, when you're careful, every day, the people you are trying to help, the people you are trying to offer satisfaction will rather turn around and insult you. This is football. If you say why you invest in your own club, stadium, na team nyama nko yi ama oma supporters in be. This is football. And it can only take people with high level of passion. People who believe in building not only their families, but who are nation builders to continue to invest in football.
Kurt Okreko there, encouraging investors to invest in football. Let's do the Division 1 Super League, and in Swatriman, they got the better of Tamale City after a 1-1 stalemate, and they won 4-5 on penalties to secure a ticket in the grand finale. They'll come up against Liberty Professionals, and head coach of the team, Mohamed Gago, says his focus is to put together a very strong team that will compete in the Ghana Premier League and not necessarily win the cup.
Well, magnificent. I mean, I will only do one thing by congratulating the boys for standing on their feet and going through all these things, I mean, till the end of the game. I mean, you could see we started playing 10 against 11 when our player was fouled. Instead of giving the infringement to us, rather we were being punished and shown a red card. I mean, I will congratulate them again for being able to stand. This is a show of character, and I am very glad that these boys have made it.
I mean, you'll be playing against Liberty Professionals in the finals on Friday. Is this a trophy you want to get your hands on to serve as an important morale for your boys ahead of the Premier League campaign?
Well, I mean, before we even got here, I said that coming to win this trophy was not my goal. My goal is to come and put the team in shape. And gradually, I think it's coming to fruition. I mean, you can see how energetic our boys were in pressing all the corners and not allow them to play. I mean, this was what I came here to look for, not exactly winning the trophy. And here we are finding ourselves in the finals. I mean, for me, this is already an achievement. I mean, you can see we have all new players that we've put in together, and we are beginning to get to know each other better.
Thank you, Coach, and I wish you all the best on Friday.
Thank you, too.
So that's Coach Mohamed Gago there.
Still on the Division 1 Super League, spectators had thronged to the Chebi AstroTurf wanting to catch a glimpse of the semi-final matches that were played on Wednesday. However, security was unable to contain them. A member of the Division 1 Super League committee is George Afoklenyo, and he says in the grand finale, security will be beefed up for the match between Insuatriman and Liberty Professionals.
On the grand finale, the first thing we are going to beef up, my brother, is the security of the place. Today you saw the numbers that oozed here. Awareness has been well created. Now people are ready for the product, they are enjoying it. And so security is one thing we are going to beef up. Also, I think we need to do more of conscientization. Some of the people have never seen such a tournament here. And so controlling them becomes a problem. Some would like to come to inner perimeter instead of go to the stands. You know, they want to see the players. I don't know, want to touch them or something. We can understand.
But but one of the things that happens is that the light went off. There was a moment of doom, so that caught everybody by surprise. Why did the light go off, and what plans do you have to ensure that does not repeat on Friday?
My brother, this is about the second time this is happening here, and we try to speak to the ECG, the guy who takes care, the caretaker here, who said there were some problems with the lines, so we had brought people to the ECG to check on them. I came to see one guy, electrician who was working on it, who told me what was wrong, okay, and that he had worked on it, only for it to repeat itself shamefully.
So on Friday, there's assurance that this is not going to repeat itself, isn't it?
Well, we're going to go extra mile to make sure that this does not repeat itself.
I mean, which dignitary should we expect on Friday, because it's the climax of this wonderful week of football?
Sure, the president will be here, I believe so. The vice president of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Mark Addo, who is also the chairman of this committee. Also Gary. I expect him to be here too, because you're a member of this committee, and a lot of people I know. People who matter in Ghana football, I believe, who make their journey to Chebi toward this grand finale.
Let's do women's football, specifically on the Women's Premier League. They secured sponsorship just a couple of days ago, and chairperson of the committee, Hilary Boateng, says the sponsorship coming from Malta, Guinea is a booster for the Women's Premier League in the country. She spoke on Joy Sports today.
Right from when the Maiden CAF Champions League was launched, there's been an extra competitiveness from the clubs, from also in terms of everything, because of course the prestige of playing in the CAF Champions League in itself is really high. You get a lot of visibility, as we saw with Hazaka's League, so that in itself has brought even more competition within the clubs, both northern and southern zone. And as we saw, Ampem Dakwa revenged all their losses last season against Hazakis, and this time they are the ones playing in the Wafu. Fingers crossed, once they win, they go to the second edition of the CAF Champions League. So very exciting times. I think that with the new sponsor that's gotten, that in itself also brings a lot more excitement and even an even bigger bite where everyone wants to partake and win the highest amount at stake.
Of a plus, do you think the sponsorship that have been secured will add to the women's game?
Most definitely. Specifically, this is sponsorship for the Women's Premier League. However, it goes beyond just the Women's Premier League. If you were at the launch of the sponsorship deal itself, Guinness did mention that they were going to invest more of the money in grassroots development, which is key in unearthing talent for the Women's Premier League, which also feeds into the female national team. And so definitely this is something new. We've never, since the inception of the Women's Premier League, we've had partners.
Yes.
But in terms of headline sponsorship, I think this is the first we are getting. And so it is a step in the right direction. I mean, like Oliver Twist, we always ask for more.
Yes.
But I think that this is fantastic for the women's game at this point in time.
Let's do some boxing now. Former IBF lightweight champion Richard Commey has moved up in weight. The Ghanaian boxer, who was in the lightweight division, has moved to the welterweight as he comes up against Joseph Pedraza on August 27. He's been speaking to Ring TV, and we have quotes of the Ghanaian boxer on your screens right away. And he says, I'm really looking forward to this fight. It is an opportunity for one of us to make a big statement in the 140-pound division. It is a deep division, but so was lightweight. That doesn't worry me here. If you want to be the best, you have to challenge the best. I've been competing at lightweight all my career, over 11 years now. My team and I feel this is the right time to step up in the weight and try to become two-weight world champion. Richard Commey, he's coming up against Pedraza just this weekend. And he continued to say that I have the utmost respect for Pedraza, not only as a fighter, but as a human being. And he says that he conducts himself very well, and I've never seen or heard him being disrespectful to anyone. I look forward to sharing the ring with him. He's a very good technician and has a very high boxing IQ. And he went on to say that, so I will have to bring my A game to be victorious. I do believe we'll give the fans a treat. I can't wait. We also hear from his manager, Amu Bidiako, who says that they have seen it all in the lightweight division. That's why they've chosen to move up in weight to the welterweight. And this is a manager of Richard Commey, Michael Amu Bidiako. He says, I felt that he achieved everything he could at lightweight. He was a world champion, and headline shows at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas and Madison Square Garden. We felt now was the right time to move up and try to become a two-weight world champion. I know how much it meant to Richard being a world champion, not just him, but for his people back home in Ghana. He wants to do that again to make them proud. Rangers will play in the UEFA Champions League for the first time in more than a decade after beating PSV Eindhoven 1-0 to reach the group stage of the competition. Malik intercepted a PSV out pass from defense and squared for Antonio to find an empty net from 6 yards. Let's wrap up with the third round draw of the EFL Cup, and it is going to be Manchester City versus Chelsea. That's going to be quite an interesting one, because in the third round, for them to be paired, it clearly shows that one of them will not be winning the competition this season. But this is Bristol City versus Lincoln City, Manchester City versus Chelsea, Stevenage versus Charlton Athletic, MK Dons will come up against Morecambe. They also have Manchester United versus Aston Villa, AFC Bournemouth versus Everton, Liverpool will play Derby County, Burnley will play Crawley Town. And also, Newcastle United, they will play Crystal Palace. Southampton will play Sheffield Wednesday. Arsenal will come up against Brighton and Hove Albion. And Brentford will come up against Gillingham. Leicester City versus Newport County. West Ham United versus Blackburn Rovers. Wolves versus Leeds United. Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham Hotspur. And this is how we wrap up AM Sports here with me, Muftawu, Nabila, Abdulai. Joy Sports understands the Ghana Football Association has reached an agreement with Tunisia for a friendly match ahead of the FIFA World Cup. The FA are expected to confirm that friendly match pretty soon. We appreciate your company.